We live, digitally speaking, in glass houses. And in as much as we do, it's hard to fault people for looking in when they can. Not all piracy involves, in my judgment, illegal theft, but it is theft. I want to stay away from a technical definition, but I think of it pretty much as a way of stealing.
The people who own the product will make the same amount of money, yet more people get to access it. To me, there's no loss there.
Essentially, piracy is the unauthorized acquisition of somebody else's property for your own use.
According to the chairman of the IFPI, the voice of the recording industry worldwide, global sales in the music industry have fallen 30% over the past 5 years, in spite of a 940% growth in digital. The chairman says it would be great to report these innovations have been rewarded by market growth, more investment in artists, and more jobs. Sadly, that is not the case. Digital piracy remains a huge barrier to market growth. Many find fault in this practice and claim that it inhibits innovation and creativity because it disallows information sharing, which prevents people from building on past ideas. Others praise it and claim that the monetary compensation copyright laws provide motivates people, and that without it, people would have no motivation to innovate or create. Is it fair that ideas are now considered property?
I filed more than 50 patents. I'm involved in intellectual property. I'm aware of how much work goes into it, and so I believe that it's property like anything else, just happens to be a lot more transferable.
I think there is a sense of entitlement, probably justifiable entitlement. I think it's a good idea that patents do have, generally speaking, a sunset clause. I mean, one of the ones that come immediately to mind is now that we can sing Happy Birthday without having to pay.
So if I have an idea, it's one thing to write my idea up on the whiteboard and just maybe dream about it. It's another thing to invest a significant amount of time and resources to pursue the idea, file a provisional patent or even a full patent disclosure, which is pretty expensive. All those things take time, and of course time is worth something.
I think in the artistic realm, it's much more difficult to patent ideas. There's so much crossover that to monopolize an idea is probably unfair because ideas are shared so much.
It's valuable, and so I think that it should be protected.
Some see piracy as a victimless crime. Others see it as a crime with far-reaching consequences with effects on many people. Do you see piracy as a victimless crime? If not, what are the consequences? Who is it hurting, and how?
If you download a song, the artist who makes the song and the company who produces the song and the record label, those are the people making money off of you buying it. And I don't think any of those people need more money, whereas the need to listen to music, it can be like a real human need, can really help people. I don't think it's a victimless crime. I just think the victims aren't really victims here.
And there's a lot of justifications for piracy. A lot of people would say that it doesn't hurt anybody really, it's going to be out there anyway, so everybody else does it. Lots of excuses. However, my taking it, even if it didn't affect somebody else, it does affect me. The attitude becomes, I'm entitled to that. They owe me. It's going to hurt the person who does it first, and that's going to affect the community generally. It does hurt the producer, the original artist, for example, is hurt by it, because no matter what the arrangement they have, the demand is diluted. Anytime demand it goes down, their benefit goes down with it.
Due to the increasing ubiquity of easily accessible files on the internet, piracy is becoming more and more pervasive each day. According to the Business Software Alliance, around $59 billion worth of software was stolen worldwide in 2010, and that number has only increased since. Have you ever pirated something?
No, I can say that with absolute candor.
Yeah, I've seen movies online for free. It's the way to live.
All of that I stay away from. Music, um, I do steal from my colleagues. And I haven't asked them questions about where they got it from, but no, I haven't not. I've not. I think it's unfortunate, and not everything that's unfortunate is, as a matter of fact, immoral.
I think if you look at most moral theories, piracy, even though one would naturally expect it to run into problems, is actually maybe not so bad. If you're asking which ethical lens we need to look at piracy through, I don't know which ones we could come up with which would say that piracy would be such a bad thing. Look at like care ethics, then piracy becomes an issue of wealth, in which you're forced to acknowledge massive inequalities, in which case, again, piracy seems to have a place which is maybe acceptable. If you look into like virtue ethics, then you find yourself cultivating a certain type of person, which might not be great because you're cultivating yourself to do things which are against the law, albeit our law is corrupt, but still, this value which they're taking away might not exist. Say they're in a low-income area and they wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it. I don't see how in any way you can call it a moral wrong there, because all that's really occurring is they're getting something which they otherwise would not have, and that's it.
Rich or poor, I don't think there's any difference. I think that it's going to affect the person.
It's just bad. People shouldn't do it, I think.
Although piracy may have concrete effects, there are no right or wrong answers when it comes to moral questions. Piracy is a complex issue, and not all cases are the same. Regardless of how you feel about piracy, the issue is certainly a relevant one, and it will continue to affect our societies moving forward at an increasing rate.